Byron Center, Michigan was founded in 1836 by the Boynton brothers, Nathan, Jerry, and William. 100 years later, to celebrate the founding of the village, Byron Center threw a Centennial celebration. A full day of events was scheduled for Wednesday, August 26, 1936. The entire town came out to celebrate that day, including the family of Alice Kooinga Wustman. Mrs. Wustman brought her 8mm movie camera along with her to document the festivities. Those festivities would become an annual tradition for the residents of Byron Center, thereafter to be known as Byron Days. Amazingly, the footage Mrs. Wustman shot that day still survives. To commemorate the Centennial of Byron Center, a festival schedule was put together that included a parade, baseball game, balloon ascension, pageant, and beginning at 10 a.m., a horse pulling contest. An article printed in the South Kent News describes the events of the day.
There were several entries in the horse pulling contest that was held in the morning, and after putting on a splendid exhibition, the following winners were announced. First place and $20 went to Henry Van Dam of Zeeland, R3, team weight 2,950 pounds. Second place and $15 went to Garrett Lubbers of Byron Center, team weight 2,860 pounds. Third place and $10 went to Charles King of Byron Center, team weight 2,650 pounds. Fourth place and $5 went to Albert Scutt of Hudsonville, team weight 2,785 pounds.
While we don't know for sure where the horse pull took place, it might have taken place somewhere on what is now 84th Street. In fact, it seems that a lot of the Centennial celebration took place on 84th Street, particularly around the Holloman de Weird building, still looking very recognizable to how it appeared in 1936. Built around 1915, it was known as Byron Center Auto Sales Outlet Company, or the Ford Garage, in 1936. Martin Cott, seen here, was the manager of Byron Auto Sales. Notice the house in the background and, in a moment, the two-story building behind it. The storefront was the harness repair and shoe shop. Both of these buildings were still standing as late as the 1970s. You'll also note the merry-go-round in the background. That appears to be sitting at the intersection of 84th Street and Harlow Avenue. And if we roll back real quick, we can see the Eat a Bit of Pie house in the background at 2500 84th Street. Eat a Bit of Pie was owned and operated at this time by Tony Berkenpass. Eventually, this building would be used to house the Happiness Is restaurant, with some obvious modifications to the front. The Ford Garage was also the scene of a flower show and exhibits put on by the Women's Study Club. Again, the South Kent News.
Besides the flower and horticultural show and the antique exhibit, there was plenty of entertainment for young and old on the Ferris wheel, merry-go-round, and other concessions to round out a busy homecoming celebration.
We are now at Harlow and 84th Street, looking east. You can catch glimpses of the harness repair shop off to the left. Notice the signs on the side of the harness repair shop: Fred and Cyril for prosecutor and Perkins for prosecutor. Fred Cyril and Willis Perkins were running for the Republican nomination for Kent County District Prosecutor in that election. Cyril would win the nomination and election.
The local merchant staged a parade at 2 o'clock with some very interesting and unique float entries.
The businesses and organizations behind some of the floats are unclear in the film. However, a few are recognizable. Andringa's Fuel and Feed was located in Carlisle on 76th Street near the railroad tracks. Seared Andringa started his feed business in 1915 after selling his grocery store to his brother Dick. In 1922, Seared would become president of the Byron Center State Bank. The Standard Oil Company was owned by Sherman Van Solkema. His younger brother Dewey ran Duke's Standard Service Station, located at 8353 Byron Center Avenue. From the same spot on 84th Street, we now look east. This building is the blacksmith shop. The village smithy began in 1875. Amazingly, this building operated as a blacksmith until 1961. Weber's Well Drilling was owned by Art Weber and was located on the west end of Byron Center, in front of what is now Byron Center West Middle School. Duke's Meat Market shared 2527 84th Street, what is now known as the Byron Family Restaurant, with Harkema's Groceries. Prizes were awarded for the best floats.
First prize of $5 was awarded to Honderd and Van Solkema for their splendid basket of groceries. Second prize and $3 went to Abe Aronson, the Summit Hatchery. Third prize and $2 was awarded to John Moorsman for the boat advertising his dog kennels. Harkema and Potter and the Byron Center Auto Sales received honorable mention for their entries.
At 3 p.m., a baseball game was held between the Byron Center Merchants and the Caledonia Chickie Bars. Exactly where the game was played is unknown.
The baseball game in the afternoon between Caledonia and the Byron Center Merchants gave the crowds all the excitement that can be expected. After trailing most of the way in a nip-and-tuck game, the Byron Center Merchants tied the game up in the 9th inning, and with 2 out, Earl Terhar delivered a home run into right center field to win the game 5-4. Batteries for Byron Center: Roloffs, Nineheis, and Hayes. Batteries for Caledonia: Parker and Snyder. At 7 o'clock, the crowd was entertained by the balloon ascension and double parachute drop performed by E.R. Robinson. At the same time, many were enjoying the free barbecue at the expense of a 1,600-pound ox. Slightly less than 4,000 buns were passed out to the crowd that steadily filled through the Ford Garage building.
The events of the day continued long after Mrs. Wustman's camera was turned off.
At 8 o'clock, the audience was entertained by the presentation of a pageant depicting the organization of Byron Township and tracing the first settlements that were made here in the vicinity. A Polish band from Grand Rapids furnished the music for the pageant and parade, and the drum and bugle corps of the Grandville American Legion Post put on a short exhibition. The horticultural display and flower show open to the public from 1 to 11 p.m. was large and attractive. 43 ribbons were given, including 17 blue or first, 14 red or second, 7 white or third, and 5 yellow or honorable mention. Judging from the tremendous crowds that thronged the streets of this village Wednesday, August 26, the businessmen can consider their efforts in putting on the celebration a real success. The splendid program of activities and the businesslike manner in which things were handled are a tribute to the general committee in charge and to all the men, women, and children who helped in carrying the day through.